Welcome back.
Hello. Welcome to We Talk Weddings, the podcast where we talk weddings. This is our bonus episode for the week. Hey, let's talk Hallmark.
I'm already crying. This was painful. I don't know if this can be maybe once a month bonus to take away from the norm, but this is...
I do feel like my brain melted a little bit watching this. Yeah. But all in all, like I said before, I don't think that this is the worst Hallmark movie we're going to watch.
No, so we watched...
It's telling.
Just last night, we both watched Wedding Planner Mystery. Mm-hmm. You can find it on Plex for free. I feel like they owe me money. Yeah. For watching this. Also, every ad break was 7 ads. I just can't get over that part.
Free, but you have to watch 49 ads.
There was at least, 49.
And it would be like mid-dialogue.
Yep. It'd
just be like, and then so-and-so...
Home Depot.
Oh my God.
I actually have a note on here. Wait, let me scroll to it. I said, I'm enjoying progressive commercials more than this movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Those just fascinate me.
I spent a total of $100 even on Shein while watching this movie. I really amped up my fall wardrobe.
And the whole time I'm watching this, I literally actually rewound a couple times because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And Katie's going to know more, and then I'm going to feel bad. And you're shopping online.
I thought the exact same thing. I was
I should feel bad.
I should really pay attention more. In the first, I'd say 45 minutes, I was, taking some good notes. I mean, just some good, tidbit, funny notes. And then I was like, where is this going?
Yeah. So...
I know where it's going, but can we get there?
Okay, so the storyline, the synopsis, we'll get into it a little bit more.
This movie was 90 minutes. It could have been...
It literally was 140.
Wait,
yeah, it was an hour and 24 minutes, and I couldn't last the last 12 minutes of it. I had to fast forward just to get to whatever point they were trying to make.
Yeah.
Because it was just because you add another plot to the movie doesn't make the writing any better. There was literally 12 plots in this movie. I couldn't keep up. I would write down something, and then all of a sudden the scene would change, and they'd be in the middle of a conversation talking about another issue.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, where did this come from?
So we should start.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm just still a little upset that I watched
So like
that
Abby said, today we're talking about the Hallmark movie Wedding Planner Mystery. It has a 5.9 out of 10
That's
rating
generous.
On IMDb. It came out in 2014, which I could have told you that without even looking at the date.
It was very 2014.
The opening scene, that wedding, I was like, this is the most 2014 thing I've
All
ever
of
seen.
the flowers were balls of flowers with tulle coming out of it.
Yeah.
And then it was maroon and purple, which was that a thing?
No.
I feel like it should have never
really
been a
hope
thing.
not.
Yeah. Maroon and purple. Okay.
I didn't know that it was based on a series of 6 books. Did you do any side research on that?
A little bit, but yeah. So there's 5 other wedding planner mysteries if you need more in book form if you want to read about it. But okay, so the storyline, Wedding Planner Mystery follows the exploits of a quirky but lovable event planner who makes murder as fun as can be. That's not what that movie's about. Side note. She makes murder as fun as can be?
I didn't find her quirky at all.
No. The only quirk that she had was that she was OCD, but same, everybody in this industry is OCD.
I didn't find her quirky one bit.
It was a little forced also.
I will say, though, that actress is gorgeous. The whole movie, I was like, wow, this
And she
woman
wasn't
is
bad.
beautiful.
She wasn't the worst Hallmark actress I've ever seen. She knew what she was doing, but it was the writing that just was awful.
I will say, yes, she was beautiful. There was one point when I was like, she has pretty eyes, and then one of the guys that all look alike told her she had pretty eyes, and I was like, I knew it. She had pretty eyes.
Yeah.
All of the men in this look alike, except for the detective.
Yes.
The detective was hot.
Yes, and he was the best actor. I have that written down too. Anyways.
Do you want to know who the worst? We'll get to it. I'll show you. I'll tell you who I think the worst actor was, but go on.
Okay. Homicide doesn't follow our heroine. She seeks it out. Okay. It does follow her though. Like she wasn't ever eager to know about it. I have to stop interrupting myself. Using her circle of contacts, her friendship with a reporter, friendship? They hated each other. Okay. And the same research skills that enable her to plan distinctive events. If an unsolved murder occurs in Seattle, Carnegie will find out about it. Do we want to talk about her name or?
Yeah, my very first bullet point under the title of the movie says her name is Carnegie.
Yes.
Carnegie
Kincaid.
And
she
I keep wanting to say Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall. She owns Carnegie Kincaid Wedding Design, which is the hardest sentence to say. But, and also in the opening scene, they like pan across her van that's like all labeled Carnegie Kincaid, blah, blah, blah. And then the license plate says, I do for you. What do you think of that?
I think we should change the name of the podcast to I Do For You.
I do for you.
I do for you.
The movie's set in Pennsylvania.
It is Seattle.
Wait, I looked it up. Maybe the book is set. This is literally the most inaccurate podcast.
I'm not.
You're the fact checker now. Okay, wait. But I looked it up and it said Pennsylvania. Maybe the book was in Pennsylvania?
I don't know because you, first of all, you just said Seattle in the description.
Oh, I did.
Also, there's like 4 scenes where they're in the square in Seattle, like the very famous downtown.
I was trying so hard to pay attention to what the plots were that I missed all of the scenery because I was listening to what they were saying.
They said Seattle quite a bit.
I did not hear that. Well, so I looked it up because at one point they say something like, "Oh, that's in Fremont," and I was like, "Fremont? Like, what? Where is this set?" And then that's when I looked it up.
Jesus. Maybe the other wedding planner mystery is set in
Seattle and Pennsylvania are pretty close.
They're basically the same thing, I'm sure.
This was also, it's not a fact anywhere, but I'm just gonna say it's the fastest paced Hallmark movie to ever be created.
Yeah. Yes, I would say we got right to the point.
Yeah.
I would say. And then we got right to many other points.
Yeah. So pretty much it opens with Carnegie is at a wedding that she is planning, obviously, and the bride is cousins with the next client of hers, which is in a couple weeks. And which I thought was kind of rude, like where they're in the bridal suite and Carnegie's like, and the cousin's like, well, I can't hold Nikki. Nikki's the next bride.
The next bride. Yes.
We don't know the first bride's name, but Nikki's her cousin. She's a bridesmaid. And so she's like, I can't hold the roses. I'm allergic. And Carnegie's like, we won't have those at your wedding. And it's like, yeah, that's rude. You don't bring up another person's wedding in the middle of somebody else's wedding.
Also, this might be like an unpopular opinion, but I think it needs to be said that these bridesmaids killed Michelle.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's where you kind of go into the bridal suite and they have a big discussion because Nikki is getting married the next week and she's bridesmaid, blah, blah, blah. They're all cousins in the bridal party, I guess. Mm-hmm. Well, another bridesmaid, Michelle, who Katie just totally ruined it. She dies.
Justice for Michelle, honestly.
She says,
don't spill your wine. You're scared
about her boyfriend. He would never ask me to marry him. Why are you with this man?
Oh my god, and then they cut to him and he's like, they made him so stereotypical.
A teenage dirtbag.
They made him so, he's wearing a leather jacket and that's supposed to mean to us that he's a bad boy.
He can't commit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's supposed to tell us that he can't commit because he's wearing a leather jacket and his hair's kind of slicked back.
Yeah, so at this point in my head, I'm like, I have no idea who I should care about. I don't know if it's this Nikki. I don't know if it's Michelle. I don't know if it's the wedding planner. And then for some reason, the wedding planner is in this chapel with this reporter who just always shows up everywhere, and she hates him. So I don't know why the synopsis is that it's her friend, because they hate each other, and he's trying to get the dirt on this family.
I knew how the story was going to go with him the minute he came on screen.
Oh, yeah, because the music was like, every time he's on screen, it's like, don't. It's so funny. It's like, okay, we're supposed to think that he's the cute annoying one.
Yes.
That's actually going to be hot in the end.
Yeah.
So notes I have about the actual wedding, it had to have been a big budget for Hallmark because that wedding was nice in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, we never really see the other weddings, but, like, that one was pretty nice. And,
I know.
But it was very 2014, like,
My
chair
note
covers
says-
and...
My note says, when does this wedding start? It is pitch black outside.
Yes! Yes! It's pitch black outside. People are going into the chapel, and Carnegie's, like, putting champagne flutes up on a ladder on a ledge, and I'm like, why are you over there, dude? Go... like, the ceremony's gonna start any minute.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Anyways, okay.
Pew decor in the chapel sucks. That's one of mine. They had a weird scalloped napkin fold. I don't know if this is it. Oh my gosh, I just spilled my wine.
I just said, don't spill that wine. We searched long and hard.
We found a partial open bottle of wine, and so okay. Also, I love
the joys of working at a wedding venue.
Okay, so like I said, Carnegie's like trying to take down or put up these champagne flutes on a ladder. I have no idea why she's up there. I don't know what she's doing.
Oh, she had a note, or someone told her, don't forget about the champagne flutes, so she went to go get them.
Oh, yes.
So and she gets up on the ladder.
And
for some reason, there's champagne flutes at the church, but there's also a reception
hall. Yeah.
My brain hurts.
So then, she like kind of falls off the ladder into this guy's arms who's wearing like a full suit, and she mistakes him for a waitstaff member. Okay, we can move on from that. I have no other notes on okay. I've definitely done that before.
My only note is that I thought he was the reporter. They all look the same.
Yeah.
I was like, what's
except this guy looks like an evil version, which gives it away from the beginning.
He's literally wearing fake contacts.
And mascara.
They tried to make his eyes look really piercing and beautiful. He looked
like Hook from yes.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've done that where a waitstaff member comes in, it's their first day, so they kind of like dress up a little bit because like if for people who don't know, like we launder our waitstaff uniforms for them, so like they don't need to come in with a uniform on. Mm-hmm. And so I've done that before, and I'm like, oh, like what wedding are you here for? And they're like, I'm just trying to find where I go for my first shift. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
You look
but
very
this
nice.
guy was in a full suit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, okay, for this entire opening scene, I really had trouble following what was going on because the tool belt that this chick is wearing
weighs her down.
Could take out a small child.
Yeah.
Now, we know a lot of really great wedding planners, and they all wear some sort of fanny pack apron. This is a Tim the Toolman Taylor tool belt that this woman is wearing. Mary Poppins would kill for this.
Yeah.
It was all I could. She's like walking out of the chapel, and it's like they pan.
She's like a cowboy.
And it's like, you're going to take out an eye with that thing. Oh my God.
I think one of them had to be like a large hammer or a screwdriver or something hanging off.
What
but
in
I don't...
God's name?
Anyways.
You
ever heard of a multi-tool, Carnegie? You don't need them all. You just need multi-tool.
Clearly she hasn't.
Okay. And then... there's another evil wedding planner amidst.
Oh my God, this was so funny. I was like, why is there another wedding planner at this wedding?
Evidently, so she says, "Oh, congratulations, Carnegie." Or I don't even know if she has an English accent, but she's like, I would have been hired for this, but I'm a family friend and I'm just overbooked. And I'm like, you're making yourself sound so stupid right now. And Carnegie's like, yeah, well, I'm just innocent. And then she's like, and also you couldn't have blocked out Queen Mary from coming.
All right. We need to stop. We can't just browse over the plot point that is Queen Mary. Now, this woman's storyline is that she is an old woman in the Seattle or Pennsylvania area, depending on who you ask, that crashes local weddings to eat the cake.
They say every community wedding.
Yeah.
Just to eat the cake.
And she is known throughout the wedding industry. Now, I'm not entirely sure which writer this was an idea from, but I just want to know how many weddings they've been to.
Yeah.
And we're not going to spoil Queen Mary's ultimate storyline here, but I was just so thrown. I was like, why is there so much beef with this old woman?
Yeah.
She looks cute.
Yeah. So we never really see anything with the processional or anything like that.
Oh,
all of us.
Yes, we do. The processional, they all just sprinted down the aisle.
Oh, I did not see that.
I think I have it in my notes. The worst processional ever. This
is the most jam-packed movie I've ever watched, and I'm not gonna blame myself if I miss something because I was trying hard.
All of a sudden, it's like the music starts, and like they didn't even everybody just ran down the aisle at once, including the bride and her dad, and that's why you missed it because it went so fast. I was
oh my gosh,
way to go, Carnegie! Like you couldn't have just gave someone a cue. Everybody just ran down the aisle.
Yeah.
I was like.
Yeah.
This isn't even...
Yep. So all of a sudden we're at the reception and I don't even think first dance has happened or anything. It's at the beginning of the reception. And Michelle decides to bring up to her boyfriend that she wants to get married at this time. So they get into an altercation and she pushes him into the wedding cake. Mm-hmm. Into it. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
Michelle.
You're the bride's cousin. Are you kidding me? So then Michelle flees. That's the best way to put it. She just flees. Yeah. And she drives away, and you hear a crash, and Carnegie sees it all. And then it pans to one shoe.
I should not laugh at this girl's death, but...
well, you don't even know that she dies. It's just oh, she's not moving, and which I guess is a good indicator.
Yeah. It's called Wedding Planner Mystery, so I think she died.
I did not know that was going to be the mystery. But
that's one of the mysteries.
So... Yeah, but there was a lot of mysteries. It should have been Wedding Planner Mysteries.
Yeah.
But it pans to her purple and rhinestone shoe on the ground.
On the road.
And then the scene changes, and you're in a conversation, I think, I think this is one of the scenes. They have 80 sets at Carnegie's studio and her business partner, jeez, who's
Eddie?
Eddie. He's
the wise old man.
The wise old man that she accuses of everything. And she is oh, because Michelle died, which is just yesterday, I'm worried that I'm going to lose my next client, Nikki, because that was her cousin. Yeah. I'm really? Really?
Before we go any further, I do want to say we skipped the part where she goes outside and sees someone fiddling with Michelle's car. Or the car that she flees in. Yeah. She sees someone and she doesn't do anything. She just stands there and goes, that's odd. There was so much extra dialogue.
She does voiceovers because they couldn't fit all the dialogue in the movie.
Yes. And then, this person who's fiddling with Michelle's car flees and leaves behind a business card case. And she goes, who carries around a business card case anymore? And she's the only one around.
Totally ignoring the fact that he was messing with somebody's car.
And then that's the end of that. Nothing more, nothing less. And then Michelle gets into the car accident, so that starts the mystery.
Yes. Okay. So then Queen Mary tells Carnegie that she saw people breaking cars.
Yes.
Not breaking into.
Breaking
cars.
Breaking cars.
She just saw people breaking some cars.
Justice for Queen Mary, honestly.
Yeah. So then, next scene, you find out Michelle dies very abruptly. And all the planner's concerned about is that Nikki's wedding might get canceled because of this, and Carnegie Kincaid Wedding Design might have to close.
I literally have in my notes, why is she making this horrible death all about her company?
I'm sorry, that was a $40,000 wedding, and you're going to close after that?
Right. That, if this is your end-all, be-all, you should not be in business.
No, yeah. So Michelle goes to Nikki's house, and they talk about it, and Nikki decides that she wants to keep the wedding because Michelle, that's what she would want, and they want to dedicate the programs to her. See, I got details like that.
Not before they have the charity gala. Remember that?
Yeah, there was a random charity gala that they had to go to, even though the guy's niece just died, and I don't even know what that was for. Anyways, so then Nikki leaves to go try on her wedding dress, and the dad is like all of a sudden angry because he finds out that his arch nemesis is coming to their wedding, and he asks Carnegie. I literally don't know why they're enemies. It's something about he accused him of embezzling or tax fraud or something.
Yeah.
And then Carnegie is asked to go to that man and ask him in person not to come to the wedding.
What wedding planner is this involved in a family? Like,
Unless they're related, none.
She is being treated like a personal assistant.
Yeah.
And it's crossing so many lines.
And it's kind of like sick on her part too, because it's like, you're just after their money at this point.
Yes.
You don't care about their
Yes,
family, and stop acting
exactly.
like you're consoling her.
Exactly.
You just want her to keep her wedding date.
Yes.
That makes me mad. Anyways, so Carnegie goes to this guy's house and tells him he can't come. And he's very upset, and then he's okay with it.
Now, like I said before, I was going to stop you when we came upon some of the worst acting I've ever seen. And it's this man in the robe is the worst actor I have ever seen in my life. I'm so sorry, sir, but
Sir.
you're the worst actor I've ever seen. Like, he's in a robe, and he's like...
They're at, like, his pool house.
They're sitting in his pool house. It was also, like, borderline a little bit creepy because, sir, what is under your robe?
Well, it was 2014.
Yeah, this was before the movement.
Everything,
This was before the movement. Now, it was just some of the worst acting I've ever seen, and it really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Because it's awful.
Yeah. So, and also, who really does have an arch nemesis these days? You know?
Right, exactly.
So then the detective...
Hot.
Okay. So this random detective comes.
Hot.
He's attractive.
Yeah.
He is the best actor of this whole movie.
By far the best actor.
He needs to go to, like, a whole different ball game. Like, he's good. He's
like,
a good actor.
Martin Scorsese, if you're listening to this podcast, which I'm sure you do, you've probably, like, joined our fan club by now. I need you to hire this detective man.
Yes.
Ricky Ravanello.
Yes.
I think he's Italian. This was some of the best acting I've ever seen, as opposed to Keith, who was a bad actor.
Yeah. So, anyways, he blames Carnegie and says, you gave her champagne in the bridal suite, so you could be liable.
You know that you have no leads when the wedding planner is your lead suspect. Also, this woman should have hired a lawyer about 3 minutes into this movie. Why is there no lawyer present for this? With this?
I couldn't, when he said that, my jaw actually dropped, because he was like, you gave him champagne too, right? Like, and you could be liable.
You
for
fed
her.
them drinks,
and it was like it's a freaking wedding. And also she was like, well, in the bridal suite before they. Blah, blah. I'm like, why are you entertaining this?
Yeah,
leave. Sorry, that was not me hitting anything at my keyboard. Hit the thing. Anyways. So Carnegie had found that business card holder with the wet cards inside the parking lot. So what does she do? What does she do to dry off these cards? Any guesses?
I have a note that just says, is that a toaster?
She puts the business cards in a toaster. Oh.
Dude, you're a wedding planner. I'm sure you have a hairdryer or a fan.
Or maybe just leave them out to dry.
Well, it's Seattle. It rains a lot.
No, I mean in the house. Like, they're just 2 business cards. 2 business cards.
This woman sticks them in the toaster, and
is using a knife to get them out of the toaster.
The scene cuts to her leaning over the toaster. First of all, that is so dangerous. Second of all, it's not a knife, it's tweezers. She has tweezers. And I'm like, babe, what are you going to do?
Stick the toaster out.
Stick the tweezers in the electric toaster?
So
I'm so worked up.
She has her friend come over. Her friend is like in law somehow. She's
a librarian.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
She's acting like the whole movie that she's like,
she's
she
a
knows everything
librarian.
about everything.
That knows everything about everyone because she can look people up on the library software. The library.
Did not know that.
Yes.
Okay,
and that's how she knows everything about everyone in town because she can look them up, which
I'm so happy we both watched
I
this
don't
movie.
even think you can do.
I don't, yeah.
Although my mom works at the YMCA in our hometown, and she's found out a lot of tea about people in our hometown because of their, like, who's on their family passes and stuff, who got taken off of the family pass.
Yeah.
It's the drama that I live for. She also takes things from the Lost and Found there and gifts them to us for Christmas, but that's a whole other podcast. Anyways.
So, yes. So, business cards are now dry. Thank God she had a toaster. So they realize one of the business cards is for Powerhouse Gym. And
Powerhouse Gym.
So she drives there, and while she's driving there, her brakes give out in her car.
I forgot about this.
And she gets it, I don't even remember. She gets in an accident or she stops somehow.
Yeah.
And they still don't call the police.
Okay, but the acting during this scene when they're in the car and her brakes give out, her friend is in the passenger seat and she's like, what? It was so, overdone, but not overdone at the same time. The reactions didn't align with what was going on.
Yeah. So then they go to Powerhouse Gym, and she's like, you distract the worker while I look up in their database the people that go to the gym here. And so then the girl, the librarian, I guess, she goes over to a machine fully in, her work clothes, which
she has
for a
heels on.
librarian, she dresses like a lawyer. Anyways,
yeah.
She's, in a 3-piece suit, and she walks over to this lifting machine and is like,
my back! She's
so
screaming.
Bad. Staring straight at this worker, clearly she wants him to go over there, so then he goes over there. And then Carnegie's, looking up in the database. Well, she doesn't need to even She doesn't even need to do that because then her floral designer walks by, and she's like, oh, that's John Nevin. He goes to the gym here. He must have done something, which is just awful.
This man is clearly not American, but they gave him the most American name. I feel bad for
He changed his name.
Still.
This is what I'm saying when there's too many plots in this movie. We find out the floral designer had to change his name because he grew up with a bad name. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I literally have in my notes that the florist did it, but that doesn't, he's the red herring. Okay. Yeah. Let's just stop there. He's the red herring.
So now the scene changes again. So
they're
what?
They're at the bar? Are they at the bar now?
80 scenes so far.
I have no idea.
It changed my words from Carnegie to Care Engine.
So yeah, she confronts him. She finds him at the gym, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" So then she finds him again at the bar.
No, I think they have to go shopping for the wedding first. Yes. So Carnegie and Nikki go shopping for the wedding, and then the terrible reporter takes pictures of them 6 inches away from their face.
By the way,
with his BlackBerry phone.
This movie came out in 2014. Even I had an iPhone in 2014, and no one in this movie has anything above a 2006 BlackBerry, and I'm so confused.
One of my notes was, were there really this many BlackBerry phones in 2014?
No.
No. He's 6 inches from their faces, click, click, click.
That was really, really weird.
Even if that was my best friend, I'd be like, get out of my freaking face.
Yeah, absolutely. He was taking photos like my dad at homecoming. Inches from my face.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, the man in the tux, Holt. He's the hot guy that Carnegie clearly likes because you can tell because the music changes to this romantic music. Yeah. And so he all of a sudden is there at this shopping plaza thing and threatens to sue the reporter, not knowing anything about why he's there or anything. It was just very strange. So now Holt is like Carnegie's knight in shining armor, kind of. So then Carnegie leaves the mall and realizes she's being followed. She's being tailed. Her car, by the way, is still broken. She's driving the librarian's car. Yeah. And so she drives where? To the police station? No. She drives to the catering kitchen, full of knives, full of torches, full of everything, and she gets a hand mixer to defend herself.
She asks him if he has a gun, And this man
She's
looks
passing all the
like
knives.
this man looks like he's 16.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's his name? I forget his name. She's like, do you have a gun? And he's like in the back kitchen of a bakery.
Crackers.
Like,
No.
I was like, why would you assume this man has a gun?
Yeah, so she grabs a hand mixer to defend herself. All of a sudden, the detective walks in. He's the one who's been following her.
Hot.
And it's just still strange because he's like, oh, your brakes gave out. Like,
yeah, he's like,
okay, maybe she's not the one that did it if she's also being like a victim here.
Why would you like break your own, like, what am I trying to say here? Why would you
cut your own brakes?
Cut your own brakes.
She wouldn't. He's an awful detective, but a great actor.
Awful detective.
So,
as someone who frequents Law and Order, this man is a terrible detective. Okay, yeah. He's no Sonny Carisi. However,
so then the scene changes, and all of a sudden she's at the reception venue, and the reception venue coordinator cracks me up. She is like, what am I don't even know what to compare her to. I don't
remember her.
She's the woman that's like, there are some issues with the check bouncing.
Oh, like, she's the accountant.
But she says, I have to go talk with the reception venue about blah, blah,
because
blah.
the check, she said I have to go talk to them because
yeah, so she's pretty much the accountant at the reception venue, but she would be like us probably, right?
I think she's the family accountant because later on in the movie she goes through all of the expenses of the family.
Oh, maybe.
I think she's the family accountant.
That makes more sense. I was like, why is this reception venue coordinator like awful?
No, yeah, she's the family accountant.
And then so she has a talk with Carnegie because she's like, Nikki's check bounced, and so you're probably spending way more money than you need to be. When no, they and then Carnegie was like, well, I know Aunt Clara, or stepmom Clara took money out and then she put it back in. So clearly it's like, okay, Clara's not.
This was a really weird scene.
Yeah, it was random and it was fast, and
because she was like, she was like, well, the check bounced. However, I see here that there's been a misunderstanding, so the money is back in their account now. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
what is this scene?
And also it's like so random because they bring in a whole other character, stepmom Clara, and you're like, okay, this is too random, and you're just saying that she committed kind of a crime. She's obviously probably bad because she's sneaking around taking money out of Nikki's account when her husband is a billionaire.
Right.
Anyways, so then Carnegie, that's when she approaches the floral designer in the bar.
Okay.
Yes.
My notes about this bar. She's peering in the window, and the sign just says bar. Nothing. It just says bar. And then she goes over to the pool table. The neon sign behind the man playing pool just says, say it with me, folks,
billiards. Oh. Sorry.
I'm just gonna wait. Says pool. Ooh, ASMR.
I needed some more. We're halfway through the movie, folks. I actually have no idea what was the halfway point.
Okay.
The Serenissima, by the way, Pinot Grigio, is very good.
It is really good.
It's really good. Thank you, Noonie.
Thanks, Zev and Noonie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pool so then she says...
It just says pool and bar. Those are my only notes for this scene.
Okay, great. Well, my notes were like, the person that you've trusted for probably years, the floral designer, John Nevin, who's been your friend,
That's
you
not
just
his name.
accused him of murder because you found his business card in the parking lot full of 200 cars. That is ridiculous.
I'm sweating. What else is new?
Watch out, Brigida. We're gonna accuse you of stuff next time. No.
Oh, I know.
Poor Brigida.
To all of our florist friends.
And then
we know.
Yes.
We know.
So obviously he's upset, and he says to her that he changed his name because his name was too bad. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how that kind of, like, saves him or gives him an alibi, but she's not mad at him anymore. She doesn't accuse him of murder anymore.
This man is clearly, like I've said, he's clearly not from America. And they made him the most Americanized character.
Yeah.
It, like, kind of made me angry. He was like, my dad was a big John Wayne fan. And I'm like...
Well, and also,
what?
now looking back, what is even the purpose of the business cards or anything? Because that has nothing to do with anything now. So all of this has been a throwaway.
Herring.
Yeah.
Complete red herring.
So then the scene changes to the charity gala where the dad had to do this before the wedding. I don't know why. Holt shows up, the QD with the contacts.
Fake contacts.
Yes.
They even look fake in that IMDb photo.
Yes. And so then the reporter...
kind of unsettling.
Yeah,
Anyways, go on.
he does look like Hook. So then the reporter, Aaron, we find out his name. I don't know if they said it before, but Aaron shows up, who's the reporter, and literally the music is changing for each of them.
Yes.
Like, don't, it's
like...
Or... It's so funny. So she's trying to kick him out. Carnegie's trying to kick him out because he's trying to get dirt on this family for some reason. And clearly Aaron is trying to be her love interest because he's like, but wait, you're really going to kick me out with those cute hazel eyes?
Ew, yeah, he got real creepy.
It just went real random creepy. So anyways, Holt asks Carnegie out and they go to a pier for their first date and they kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing magical. So Carnegie goes home and finds that her studio, which by the way is her home, I don't know.
It was kind of a cute house.
It was cute, but I was like, I don't know is this really her living room with all of the sample decor? You need to separate life and work, honey. Like, oh my gosh.
I just have like linen samples scattering my living room.
Come in. You can move those crates.
You can move those glassware crates.
So then, okay, so she thinks somebody broke in because of the cologne smell. How much cologne are you wearing, sir?
This is how I feel. Okay, so this is how I feel every time you and Madison spray yourself with that cologne that's in the cabinet.
Okay, it's not cologne, it's deodorant.
It's men's deodorant, and it smells like a teenage boy just like rolled around in the office. And every time I walk through, I'm like, Madison and Abby have been here.
We forget to put on deodorant quite a bit, but it's because it's on the days for me anyways. I don't know about my husband. But it's for me, the days that I shower, I forget because I don't like putting on deodorant right after I shower.
Well, now that we all know your shower schedule, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on, did we pass over the fact that she invited Holt to go to the wedding planning convention with her? Did we miss that?
I don't know anything about this convention.
I have a note that says, oh my god, are we going to a wedding planning convention? Because I was full on ready to like strap in for that. We don't ever make it there per se.
Yeah, I don't know why that was even dialogue.
I wanted to go to the wedding planning convention.
Yeah, no, they never show it, but she invites him to be her date to this wedding planning convention, which sounds like the most boring date for a man ever. So then she finds out somebody broke into her studio. She realizes that somebody broke into her computer and wedding database, which good luck figuring out our database. Yeah. I was like, if it's anything like Catery's, nobody's hacking into anything, baby. Like, it takes 2 years to train on that thing.
I still don't know how to use Catery's.
So your wedding is safe with us.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Nikki has Carnegie meet her again. So I really want to count how many scene changes there are. There was literally
Where are we in
so
this
many.
movie?
I don't know. So Nikki has Carnegie meet her again and says her dad was threatened to be killed. It really took a turn. If he testifies against her uncle. Have no idea what the uncle did. Holt tells Nikki her dad had a heart attack while preparing for his testimony.
That's right.
So now the dad has a heart attack, but then in the next scene he was fine.
Oh my god. And the next scene, he just, like, walks right in, and I'm like,
So,
that's not how that works.
I don't know. So then Aaron all of a sudden shows up at Carnegie's house to taunt her, and then the scene changes again, and then Carnegie goes to I thought the wedding venue, but it's the accountant, and the stepmom Clara is there now, and they accuse her of embezzling their money.
Yes.
And it's just so clearly Clara's fault. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's like
the
very
mom
obvious.
says, we're terminating your contract. You're no longer the coordinator on this wedding. Carnegie's crushed. So she goes home with some Chinese food, and she tells Eddie, her partner,
the wise old man,
that she thinks he's embezzling the money.
I get a sense that Eddie is like the Morgan Freeman of Hallmark movies. Like, this actor is
I liked him.
I loved him.
I liked him as a person.
Loved him.
He does not deserve Carnegie.
No.
So anyways, and also he's like an old family friend, and he's like, he starts like crying, and he's like, well, I just need to be done with this company because I like, you guys are the closest family I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's separating work and family. I'm like,
Yeah.
you idiot.
You
Not Eddie,
idiot.
Carnegie. So then the detective now shows up at her house and says Queen Mary died. So now this is...
All right.
We're going to make t-shirts made for Queen Mary. With
Justice
some cake
for
on it.
Queen Mary. All I have in my notes, so I had zoomed out for most of what you're talking about. Most of what we just talked about here, I zoned out for pretty much all of that. This is when I bought...
Was shopping, yeah.
This is when I was shopping. I can't wait to show you what I bought. And then, like, I came to when they said that they killed Queen Mary, and I was like, whoa, where are we in this movie?
Yeah, no, she just randomly dies, and it's clearly
She gets
like
killed off.
she's
Yeah,
she's murdered.
Yeah. Why? What did she do?
Yeah. No. So then all of a sudden it's Nikki's wedding day. There's no other indication of that besides Carnegie sneaks in. She's wearing a cat costume because she got hired for another event.
A superhero themed wedding, but her and her friend neither of them are wearing superhero costumes.
No, she's just like dressed as a cat.
And
I'm
her
assuming
friend's
for
dressed as-
Catwoman. I don't know.
And her friend's dressed as Tinkerbell.
Yes. So then they go. So she sneaks in to the wedding hall. I don't even know why. I don't know if it was to warn Nikki. I have no idea why. She sneaks in. She opens the door so unalarmed to somebody laying on the floor. She's like not even fazed by it. And it's the evil wedding planner we met at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah. I remember I looked up during this and I was like, oh.
I think she like pretends calls 911 and says, yeah, I have a woman on the floor, mid-50s. And the woman's like, no, I'm 39.
Oh, yes, I do
I don't
remember
even
this.
know. Anyway, so then all of a sudden they look at the mirror, and the mirror in the bridal suite says, she's...
No police or we kill her.
Yeah, no police or we kill her. So now Nikki's kidnapped.
And 3 different people read this note out loud.
So let's count...
You didn't need one person to read it out loud.
Let's count the mysteries. We have who cut the brakes in the car, who murdered Queen Mary, who embezzled money, who committed tax fraud from the dad's blah, 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 who knocked out the wedding planner, who kidnapped. That's
Who
8
killed
mysteries.
Michelle?
Who killed Michelle?
My literal last note that I took says, why did they kill off the old lady? And then I just stopped taking notes. I was like, I'm done.
Yes. So, okay. Anyways, let's see. She's still wearing a cat suit during the rest of the movie.
For pretty much the rest of the movie.
And then Ray, Nikki's fiance, the guy that's supposed to get married that day, my favorite line of the movie, he is given the engagement ring because it was like just laying in the bridal suite, and he's holding it, and Carnegie and Holt are having a conversation, and it is interrupted because he says, it's Nikki's engagement ring, the one that should be on her finger. And I paused it, and I just stared at nothing for a solid 5 minutes. No, Ray, really? Really? Ray, you're better than that.
Here's the thing. Ray has no...
That's his second line of the movie, and his only... That's the last line. He really took that line seriously. It's like, I'm going to have 2 lines in this movie. I'm going to say that line my life depends on it.
You know he made them reshoot that scene like 4 or 5 times. Like
Ray, we need more passion. Your wife is kidnapped. Your fiance is kidnapped. Where should the ring be, Ray? Where should the ring be? The one that should be on her finger. A little obvious, Ray, but we'll take it.
Like, Ray, there was halfway through this movie where I was like, have we met Nikki's fiance yet? Like,
he hugged her in the bridal suite and said, I'll see you later, or something like that. Like,
I didn't even know he... Poor Ray.
Poor Ray. Okay, so Carnegie and Holt continue talking. They just kind of ignore Ray when he says that. And then they continue talking and plan their next date. Meanwhile, Nikki's still kidnapped.
Yeah.
Nobody's called the police.
Yeah. And they're like, so are we still going to the wedding planning convention or whatever?
Yeah. So now the kidnapper wants $10 million.
Oh, yes.
Is that too much to ask for?
As all
from a
kidnappers
billionaire.
do.
Carnegie goes to Aaron for comfort. Oh, I'm
Wait,
sorry. I just skipped a scene. They just come and go so fast. Carnegie goes home and sees Holt and another guy who have broken into their house. And she's standing dead center in front of the window door. It's not even a small window. It's a door.
It's a sliding glass door.
She's standing directly in front of it. And Holt is directly in front of it, staring straight ahead. And she falls off the porch and he's like, huh? Who's that?
She falls off the porch and lands in the water. Like,
and he has no idea that she saw him. And it's like... she was up close and personal to that window.
The layout of this house is insane because, like, she falls off the porch and lands in a body of water, like, in a river. And I'm like, why is there a river right off of your porch?
Yeah.
I have questions, Seattle.
Yeah. So she goes to Aaron's house because she knows where he lives.
Wait, who's Aaron again?
He's the reporter.
Oh, okay.
He's the reporter. So she goes to his house. She takes a shower, obviously. And and now he's comforting her, and they come up with a plan to frame Holt.
They come up with a plan.
She does not seem fazed one bit that the guy that she liked is, like, evil and killed people. like murdered
broke into
people.
her home.
And murdered people.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So now... this is where I just really start fading out. I went to the dentist yesterday. My teeth are hurting at this point. I'm like, I just don't understand. So Holt and her, are they on their way to the convention maybe?
Yeah, they're on their way to the wedding planning convention.
So they're on their way to the convention and she's like, maybe she has this like these sunglasses on and this head wrap so that the wind doesn't bother her hair.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, maybe we stop at a nice clean gas station. I'm sorry, your life is at risk and you just want to go to a clean gas station.
A clean gas station.
So he pulls over at this like hole in the ground gas station.
Yeah.
Like awful gas station.
Yeah.
And so she goes in and she's like, she goes up to the cashier and she's like, do you have a way out of here? Do you have a back way out of here? And the cashier's like, yeah, back there. And she's like, oh, okay. So then she goes out and she calls Aaron and she's like, yep, he's bad. I'm in danger. And it's like, why'd you get in the car with him? So then...
also, if I was the cashier, I'd be like, yeah, lady, the way you came in is the way out of here.
Yeah. So then Holt, obviously, you know, just all of a sudden he's there and he hears her over the phone. And so he knows that she's on him and all this stuff. And this is where I just start kind of fast forwarding. Mm-hmm. And then we find out that obviously he's bad, but then stepmom Clara is pointing a gun at Aaron.
All right, hold on.
Help me understand.
Okay. I have to say that everyone who holds a gun in this movie is holding a gun as if they're holding, like I said earlier, a glass of water. They are holding a gun as if they're just like holding a puppy.
Holding a prop.
No like
they're holding it as a prop.
There is no, and all the guns are like really tiny little pistols.
Yeah.
Like it just looked so stupid.
Yeah. So for some reason Carnegie's surprised at this. I don't know because I called it from the first time I saw Clara.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, how does the movie end? Do you know?
I'm trying to think. All of a sudden everybody's getting taken out in handcuffs. Everybody's getting taken out in handcuffs, and then they cut to Nikki's actual wedding day, and Carnegie is a bridesmaid. And Aaron doesn't show up. Remember, Aaron shows up late?
Yeah.
And also, at that wedding, Eddie walks her down the aisle. And I'm like, why is Eddie walking you down the aisle?
She gets married to Aaron at the end of the movie?
No, she's a bridesmaid. But at the wedding...
At whose wedding?
Nikki's.
Why is she a bridesmaid? She was fired 2 days ago.
But she was set up. So then, yeah, cut to the end of the movie.
Why is Eddie... Yeah, that's
Nikki is a bride's... Or, I'm sorry, Nikki...
There's so many characters.
Carnegie is a bridesmaid at Nikki and Ray. His name is Ray. Nikki and Ray's, like, actual wedding. Not the one where she got kidnapped.
Does the engagement ring go back on her finger?
Lord, I hope so.
Just for Ray's
So
sake.
then, during the wedding ceremony, Eddie, the wise old man, walks Carnegie down the aisle. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that does not make any sense.
And then Aaron shows up at the reception, and they have this moment, and they fall in love, and the credits roll, and...
Even though he's been, like, an a-hole the whole movie.
Yeah.
And...
He
whatever.
literally shows up late, and she's like, he was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, back to the reviews. I don't understand how this got 5.9. Like, if we're basing it off of, like, solid 10 is, like, a cheesy rom-com... Maybe a 5.9, but
oh my god, poorly written exclamation point.
This movie had a great cast. What movie did you watch?
I liked most of the actors in their respective roles, but the script was terrible.
Weak Hallmark writing, but they still gave it 5 out of 10.
Fun book series, but dull movie.
Yeah, it says that Deborah Donnelly, she's the author. I'm sorry she stopped writing them. Seattle was one of the best characters. It's a character. Was Seattle the friend?
No,
the librarian?
Seattle was the...
But I think that...
No.
I don't know.
No, she's saying that Seattle itself was one of the best characters of the movie, like the city of Seattle.
I want like a...
Cast
like
good,
really...
script bad.
What with the cat face? Oh, what's with the cat face? Why in the world is a wedding planner wearing a cat face at the wedding? This looked too stupid to continue watching. All I could think is, what's up with the cat face?
Oh, yeah.
Can we sort these? Sort by review rating. 4 out of 10. Stupid narration. And a mystery that isn't enthralling and makes this HMM feature... Oh, Hallmark movie?
Yeah.
One to be skipped.
When women marry for money, they have to work for every dime.
Ooh, it's harsh. Yeah,
That's funny.
I would rather a Hallmark movie just be, like, so predictably, like, cheesy and, like, feel good, whatever, than have it be like, I'm literally running a marathon watching this movie because I cannot keep up with how many characters, how many scenes, how many plots, how many twists, and then
yeah,
like what?
I will say that usually the reason I don't watch Hallmark, well, there are a lot of reasons I don't watch Hallmark movies, but the big one is like there's never any murder. There was murder in this one, so I think that's why I didn't fully hate it.
Well,
I mean, it was Hallmark.
What rating would you give it?
Okay, on like a Hallmark scale, or
no, like just like a scale.
4 out of 10.
Yeah,
but I mean, I would give a regular Hallmark movie like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah,
like I don't like Hallmark.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah,
the next couple months are going to be fun when we continuously watch Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
I'll watch a Christmas one.
The main problem I have with Hallmark and like movies like that is when it's like this isn't their personality, so we're going to show you in every scene that's in their personality. Like for instance, Carnegie, she was a little OCD. So in every scene, or not every scene, but in like random scenes, she'd like touch a stranger's necktie
Oh,
and
yeah.
be like, it was crooked.
I have a note that says, when she straightens the driver's tie, who, we kind of glossed over that, but the driver was in on it.
Yeah.
And he gets arrested at the end. She straightens his tie in one of the scenes, and she's like, I just like symmetry.
Yeah, and she's like organizing oranges in a bowl, and I'm like, you want everything perfect, but you're not going to call the police?
You want everything perfect? Yeah.
Carnegie's ringtone is the wedding march.
Yeah. And it goes off a total of like 15 times in the first 40 minutes of this movie.
And I gotta say, I don't think the producer understands who needs to wear a boutonniere. Did you notice that at the end of the movie, Aaron is wearing a boutonniere and he's a guest at the wedding?
Wait, who's Aaron again?
The reporter! The main love interest. He's wearing a boutonniere. I'm like, what? There was extra boutonnieres?
They're handing them out at the door. Oh my god.
But no, yeah, it was very
No,
strange.
I didn't notice that. And is it because he's like the date of...
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, this was a fun one. Definitely looking forward to more Hallmark ones. It's just
these Hallmark ones are gonna be such a pleasant, like,
I gotta block out 3 hours for the amount of times I like had to rewind and be like, what did they just say? I missed a whole other like point. Like I don't, but it's just
I'm just reading this review right here. Weak Hallmark writing.
This guy had high expectations. I mean,
like, how are you this pressed about a Hallmark movie? Anyway, this was fun. What is our timeline with Hallmark movies?
Oh.
So are we going to be doing like one a month or?
I think just sporadically.
Because you put about 67 on this list.
No, there's only a few. Okay, so I do want to do a wedding Christmas tale for Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. I want to do Undercover Bridesmaid.
Oh, good. A wedding Christmas tale is about two dogs who can talk to each other telepathically, and they're trying to save.
No, that's a Christmas wedding tale.
What did I just say?
Wedding Christmas something.
Okay, a Christmas wedding tale is about two dogs, and they're trying to save a wedding.
You said wedding planning Christmas. Oh. Which is not anything on this list.
Oh boy. Also, Meet the Santas sounds really good for December.
Is that the one where the where the brother, with the son?
Yes, it's about when the in-laws hate Mr. and Mrs. Claus, which is like a sin.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Like,
they hate them.
If Gordon's parents were Mr. and Mrs. Claus, my dad would be through the roof.
Your dad would be so happy.
My dad loves Christmas. He would be on the first flight to the North Pole. Okay.
Married at Graceland. That sounds good too.
Oh, for all you Elvis fans out there.
I married who? That's a good one.
We're going to Graceland, maybe.
Yeah. I've never, the only, cause like, okay, so my Hallmark, I didn't really like Hallmark movies growing up, but I loved the ABC Family cheesy movies. Yeah. Like, we should do some of those too, but I don't. Yes. Isn't it like Freeform now? It's not
Freeform, yeah. Family. Oh my god, it has been. Do you remember when it was Fox Family Channel?
No.
It has had so many different names, but it is Freeform now. Yes.
Yeah, that one movie with Joe and Melissa. And they
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes, and it's like fiance to my fake fiance. That's a good one. Yeah, maybe we'll do another spinoff of that. But
there's a couple on Netflix too that are like kind of Hallmark
bad.
Lifetime-esque Christmas.
Well, maybe we could do
movies,
like just wedding cheesy movies, and I don't know.
I mean, we're doing a lot of wedding cheesy movies. There's so many on that list.
We Talk Hallmark will just be encompassing every wedding cheesy movie.
We Talk Hallmark will be a special thing, probably once a month. We don't really have a timeline for it.
We should call it like Want Some Cheese?
What?
I smell cheese. And then
because they're cheesy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it now. Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't know which one you guys will hear next, but we have a lot of cool episodes coming up.
We
with
do.
Different weddings, so.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for us to cover Debbie Ryan because I know how you
I can't stand
Love
that
her.
woman. I have a great Debbie Ryan impression, though.
So does Madison.
Yes.
You guys both have a great Debbie Ryan impression, but we will be covering Debbie Ryan and Josh Dunn's wedding for all you 21 Pilots fans out there.
Oh, all of them. Every single one.
What is wrong with you? I actually enjoy 21 Pilots. Sophie's a 21 Pilots fan, so is Maddie.
Yeah.
They're from my hometown.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like them. I'm dying. We have to close this soon. I'm gonna die.
There's a lot on this list. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.